educate yourself, become that expert. It's going to take you 10,000 hours. Assist somebody. Anybody that's a high producer in real estate needs help. They have more business than they can handle, or they know how to create more leads to come in and convert those leads. So find somebody like that, latch onto them, and follow them around everywhere. And you will learn through osmosis, and you've got to put in your 10,000 hours.
Welcome to Real Estate vs. Technology. Man, big thanks to Liftoff Agent for sponsoring the show. All the technology has been amazing. Neil Holmes, Vegas, set the tone. Met a bunch of people, and someone's like, hey, you should have someone on the show. So shout out to Melissa. She was on Real Estate vs. Technology. She's like, I have someone for you. You got to get on the show. She's developing this technology, which is huge. And this is Real Estate vs. Tech. So this is perfect. And so she came all the way from freaking San Diego, California, 5.5 hours. Her family's at the Wolf Lodge hanging out, and we're here vibing out. I got behind the scenes. Where's our guy behind the scenes? Give him a round of applause. Come on, Jake.
What's up?
You're awesome, dude. So like, subscribe, all the things. We appreciate you. New episodes come out every single week. And we have Alyssa on the show. Welcome to Real Estate vs. Technology.
Thanks so much for having me.
Of course. 5.5 hours. Drove all the way out. I know it was for the Wolf Lodge. We know this now. I'm joking. But as an entrepreneur, right, you got to maximize. Bring the family. Have a little trip.
Dude, it's like their last
so they're
days of summer.
They didn't start yet. School.
No, they start next Wednesday.
Arizona's early.
Yep.
She's been in for 2 weeks already.
That's crazy.
Dude, tell me about it. It's 115 degrees.
I know. You would think that they would push them into like September.
And my wife and I want to get our freaking house up north. It's like, dude, we got to come back 2 months earlier.
No, that's terrible.
It sucks.
I know.
So it is what it is. I mean, we're going to have to roll the punches because we got out of California. Hey, we love you, California. And we have California in the house. So we're repping.
But you might pull me over because I saw these houses and I'm like, oh.
Okay. Okay. This is a little like squirrel moment. Okay. 2020, we're online doing a bunch of research and we found a couple different options on homes. And this one was a fixer, believe it or not. They're like, move in ready, my ass. So 3,300 square foot, 10,000 square foot lot. And so depending on how you set it up, there's like 6 to 7 bedrooms in this house, and then 3-car garage, 3 bedrooms. And they wanted 461, was sitting for a while.
Oh my God.
We got the house for 441 2020. This is the kicker. Last past 4 years being in this house, we made $100,000 per year.
Every year.
So we made $400,000 off this house. We'll give you a tour afterwards.
Yeah,
and
for
so
sure.
we got, it's called our COVID house.
Yeah.
So you have the gym, you have the Zen room, you have our Airbnb guest room, you have the office / podcast studio. In the back, you have, the pool and the hot tub, and we even have a travel trailer that we put on Airbnb
so
as
rad.
well.
No, it's super cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful home.
I appreciate you.
It makes me jealous because San Diego, your dollar does not go that far.
It's so beautiful, though.
I know. And I walk outside for 5 minutes and then, I'm okay with where I live.
Mm-hmm. It is. And the cool thing about Arizona, I think, from the beginning, from California to here, everyone was so nice. People like brought over cookies, like, here's some cookies, and like, welcome to the neighborhood. I was like, what is going on? Like,
see, we have that. Like, my community in San Diego is like,
okay, that's dope.
See, we have that.
Okay, if you have that, then
you were NorCal, so
yeah, dude. San Francisco Bay Area, it's a whole different story out there.
Throwing shade.
That makes sense, and you're closer here, anyways, too.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like, we drove last night, got in like at 11 or something. It wasn't bad at all.
That's awesome.
And Scottsdale and that whole region has just, I haven't been here in years. It's so cool.
It's so cool, beautiful. There's so many influencers out here too.
Oh, I
got
tell.
Peace
I was
Morby,
at the coffee shop this morning and I was like,
Clever
okay,
Investor.
It was buzzing.
It's buzzing. Yeah, this is a little bit on the suburb side. The cool thing about Gilbert is that it's up and coming from millennial families. And then in downtown, they have a whole freaking center being built, which is so cool. It's already really cool.
Yeah.
Just like a really older side. It's getting newer side. And then they have like a brand new development coming in.
Yeah.
Supposed to be the next Scottsdale. So I'm like, I'm down for that.
Done. Get in now.
Dude,
you've already done pretty well.
Early adapter, innovator, or
you
you're freaking mass marketer lagger. I don't want to lag. I'm cool off that. So why real estate? How long have you been in the business for? I know that you've been slanging homes. And what got you into that industry?
Yeah, I've been in the business for 10 years. Went to college, got a business marketing degree.
Okay.
And then shortly thereafter, call him my baby daddy. We're still together, but we're not officially married. But we've been together for 13 years, but we found ourselves having a baby.
There you go.
In our early 20s. And I was just like, what am I going to do with my life?
Yeah.
My grandmother was an investor in real estate. owned a bunch of apartment complexes in San Diego.
Dope.
I went and saw her devastated, like, oh, I'm pregnant. What do I do?
Yeah.
She's like, get into real estate. So that day started the classes, signed up.
There you go.
First year was rough.
Yeah.
Did really a whole lot of nothing. And then I got linked up with the right mentor and did 16 and then 20 and then became his top producer.
There you go.
Unfortunately, I became the sales manager and kind of running that company, but then it decided to shut down due to a divorce situation. So forced me out of the nest to start my own team.
There you go. I mean, hey, there's always this silver lining, right? At the end of the day. So it's like, and you have to have the right people on your team. So as far as anyone listening out there, you gotta have the right partner. You know,
you gotta find your right mentor, the right energy, the right match, right? Like that's, if you're just starting out, that is the key to success.
So you've been in the business 10 years. So we're similar, both in the business for 10 years. I'm not licensed, just slanging services for real estate agents over here, the marketing side.
Probably for the best.
Right. It's all good though. And so it looks like from, you know, your IG, what have you. So independent, or are you with one of the big retailers out there for like real EXP, all these big old.
Right. So I was independent boutique brokerage agents. And then I just partnered with Side. We just launched. So we're Newtown Real Estate and we're still boutique, you know, brokerage, but just under Side.
Shout out Side. Yeah. Side is, I think, a little bit of an underdog. And I feel like Real just like out of nowhere is just like, like here we are.
Yeah. If you understand like the differences, like they're not the same. Like they have a totally different value proposition. Side is there to support like team leaders. They won't take individual agents. Like if you're an individual agent, you actually have to find a founder to sign up under them.
Okay.
And they don't take everybody. So it's not apples to apples. It's a very like it's a niche product in the sense that they figure out your DBA, they white label your brokerage. It's the biggest brokerage you've never heard of.
Wow.
And then they put all of the support systems behind you. You get a business coach through them, and dude, I love it. I'm shout out to Side, little pitch for them.
Yeah, no, in the Bay Area, I saw what they were founded, where they started. I know some of the founders and some of the individuals that are starting the whole Side, brokerage. And then EXP's been around. It is what it is. Real's really taken off. And I have to say, probably a big piece of that is Sharon, and then the right people that have, joined.
I've heard great things about Real. I was at EXP, just wasn't a fit for me.
Yeah.
Great people there too.
Yeah.
Real and EXP, I think, are similar.
Very much so.
In terms of what they offer, and I was just looking for something different.
That's awesome. So check things out. Don't just pick one or the other. There's so many options.
Exactly. So many options. So then from there, kind of similar in 2020, COVID, I decided I wanted a project, and I started ShowingPass. Initially, I wanted to do buyer-led tours because I'm in the heart of it, kind of lazy, and was sick of driving around, and with the contact restrictions and things, like I was like, why can't I just identity verify and send my buyers if they're linked to me and have an agreement? And so I've been doing buyer agreements forever. It's not a new thing for me. Yeah. And it was already kind of part of our process. So when the commission lawsuit came to be, after kind of doing our minimum viable product, we learned a lot, and interviewing agents, they didn't really want the buyer-led tours.
Interesting.
And so we had to pivot, and found through like 100 agent interviews, found this value.
Wow, that's cool. Congratulations, first and foremost. That's awesome. And the NAR thing, it is what it is. I mean, I think the one thing that irritates me is how much they try to use it for publicity to promote your fucking event, your course, whatever else. Like, okay, I get it. Like, it's like, and I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole. I just feel like people need to realize that, like, where attention goes, energy flows. And it doesn't matter from the perspective of like, oh, well, I'm just trying to help, and because of NIR and people don't know what to do, this is what I'm doing. Well, your marketing doesn't need to be the fear tactic. Oh my God, you're going to be out of business. What are you going to do? And all the things. It's like, just keep it real.
Right. And ultimately we just have to adapt. Like, adapt or die. That's always, the industry is constantly changing from the time I got into it, from the peach showings during COVID, from like all of these different changes we've had. You just adapt. Yeah. And so we're just trying to focus on, okay, how do we make you efficient? And so you're not skipping a beat with this new ruling. It really doesn't change anything. Yeah. It's just making it more transparent and giving the seller more of a say when the offers come in, which I think makes a ton of sense.
Which, exactly. And at the end of the day, like, buyers out there, like, if you're representing buyers out there, you're an agent, you just got to step your game up. What's your value proposition? What's your standard operating procedures, SOPs? What's your key performance indicators? And like, how do you focus on like more of the income producing activities, which is like income producing is like helping your buyer find their dream home and you getting paid. So lining it out, being specific. That's why I talk on the Lift Off Agents as much as the show. Like, put together content on YouTube, have a page on your website that has the A to Z process, whether they're downloading a guide or they're watching your video and understanding the process and then filling out an intake form and getting pre-qualified. Like, show that value before you even meet them. They're gonna be like, damn, where do I sign?
Right. Exactly.
They're gonna want to.
And we're trying to give you the tools to make that process so easy. So you do a killer presentation, you tell them your value.
Yeah.
Great. You've got a mobile agreement right on your phone. Next step, set up a search. You can all do it in one cohesive app. So
I love it. So what was like the first catalyst that kicked it off for you? What was the first thing that kicked off? What was like that moment of like, oh my God, that lift off moment for you? You're like, okay, we're going to do this. This is what I want to do. And the moment that we were like, all right. And then here we are.
Yeah. I mean, I knew I wanted to help agents. I know that the prop tech industry has had a lot of growth. I still feel like agent aligned tools are lagging. Like, I don't feel like agents have a lot of allies in the industry that really have great technology.
I like that.
So that was kind of the why behind it. Cause me being a real estate agent, kind of being able to build my family and create success through real estate and through being a real estate agent, I really wanted to give back in that sense.
I love it.
So that's where the idea came from. I had the NAR lawsuit with my business partner. He has the whole tech side covered.
I love it.
But he kept like hammering on me, like, what problem are we going to solve? What problem are we going to solve? And the NAR ruling was in the back of my head. And once it came down to like the agreements that we were going to need the agreements on everything, I was like, we're in a race right now. Like, let's solve this.
Yeah.
And I don't love any search platform.
Got it.
Geared towards agents.
Okay.
So I was like, those two fit so well together. So, because if you're going to be getting an agreement signed, what's the next step?
Yeah. I love that.
And then the collaboration, like, you're not in the trenches of being a buyer's agent, but it's so frustrating when you've got like 20 minutes to be searching for properties and the current tools that we have to be able to see agent remarks and then share with our clients and keep the branding all to us and be able to collaborate and see what they like, see what they dislike. It sucks. There's nothing good out there.
Interesting.
So, one of my frustrations is the organization of it and the speed of being able to get through the properties. So another feature that we released is like a Tinder search. So you can like swipe right, swipe left on the properties. And so you can get through like 200 properties in no time.
Wow.
And then, so it's just those little problems that nobody has solved well. We're really trying to like make that process amazing and give your client that wow experience, because I can't tell you how many times I talk to people that they're like, oh, these links from real estate agents, like they suck, they're terrible. I'm like, I know. It's
so true, because at the end of the day, it's like, you know, you have the IDX and then, you know, half the agents don't even like use their websites. It connects the IDX tool. And then like the multiple listing service, you know, and Paragon and all the behind the scenes is like clunky and whatever. And then like, you get these emails and I'm like, oh my God. Okay. So here's all these listings that I could take a look at as a buyer. And then I have to click back and forth, and to make the experience more memorable and branded to them, I think is going to add a lot of value. And a lot of agents need that because they're focusing on their business.
Exactly. And so instead of us being like another shiny tool to like try to generate leads, it's like, maybe you already have the business. You just need to do it better.
Yeah. You know, that's the whole thing, you know, on our side. It's like, we want to innovate this industry. And like, what does that even mean? Well, a lot of these agents don't have marketing degrees, business degrees. They take spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. And we met each other with the Ford event.
Yep.
Which is great. And then they have masterminds, all that type of stuff, which is great. The only caveat is that it's more mass market. It's not specifically individualized for one person. And so, and it's hard because they can't do that because on scale, it's not really scalable.
Right.
And that's why we've taken our time to go very slow, because we give individualized focus per person to understand, are we starting, ramping, or scaling your business? And like, what's your avatar? What's your goals? Where do you want to go? What does your business look like? Like, let's get deep, because the coaches are already doing that.
Yeah.
But then you have tech, and that's not there. So it's like, well, what the heck? You know, it's like all the, and then there's so many people texting and calling agents. It's like, holy shit.
I know. Right? And like the amount of like people that try to sell us on a daily basis, like I can't answer a phone number I don't know for the most part, because it's just somebody trying to sell me something else, which is so frustrating.
Yeah.
But it is a real thing that agents need to be aware of, that the big tech companies are after your job.
Yes.
Do not be mistaken.
Yes.
If you are posting a Zillow link or a Redfin link, their whole business model is selling those leads to their agents.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? We have to figure out how to keep our clients safe and protected.
Yeah.
And so that's another reason, like, put them in ShowingPass, put your little moat around them, and don't let them leave.
And it's so true what you're saying, because a lot of times what happens is you know, the wow factor on the beginning, like on the front end, like this, and then like what's next after the fact. Because what do they say? Like 80% of people after like the first 2 to 3 years forget about who their agent was even in the first place.
I have failed on that. Like,
really?
I've had people, I couldn't find your number. I just found your number. I need you to list my home. You did so great, but I couldn't remember your name. I'm like, oh, well, fuck me. Like, glad I was so memorable. But you have to realize, like, you're not. That's no dig at you, but you're just not. And you have to keep in touch. You have to stay top of mind and provide value.
100%.
I'm not one of those, like, I'm just not one of those agents that's like, let's go have coffee every week. Like, no.
It's so hard.
I'm going to do a great job. I'm going to give you a great experience. My team is well trained. We have our systems and processes.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to lunch every week.
Yeah. It's too hard. I mean, at the end of the day, like, even if you wanted to, you couldn't.
Right.
And then you're just like, okay, I got to have all these other systems just so I can, like, YouTube.
Oh, for sure.
Like, because YouTube, if you get people to subscribe and they're your past clients, and that's where, like, Levi Lassick and Travis with living in Dallas, Texas, like 386 transactions in 4 years on YouTube. One of our clients did $300 million off YouTube. And it's cool because if you're talking about the area and things to do, like, I found some guy on YouTube. That's how I moved to Gilbert. He wasn't an agent, and I don't follow him anymore. But if he was an agent and he did help me with the transaction of this home, and I still was to potentially follow him on his channel, and I could keep discovering more about San Diego, Arizona for me,
and then staying top of mind.
Yeah.
And we all think that we have to be doing these crazy, like, educational, like, I'm the worst one about that. I always want to teach about the coolest new concept. Yeah. People don't care. They want to know what the best new restaurant is. They want to know, like, the 10 hot spots.
Where I bring my family, what's going on. That type of stuff. So tell us, like, what's, like, when you vision, like your company and where you're taking it, like, what does it look like for you, like, down the road in 5 years? Are you out of real estate? Is this your full-time gig? Like, how do you feel about it?
Yeah. I mean, I want this to be my full-time gig. I absolutely love it. I love my real estate team, and, I'm always going to take care of them and make sure that they're, in a safe place. But yeah, ShowingPass is my passion. My goal is to grow it and just really help agents through this market transition and keep introducing cool, relevant tools. We have so many things on our roadmap.
I love it.
The next one we're releasing, just because we think that, secure your client, collaborate, are the two, and then the next one is show. And so we're creating a like AI showing assistant that will map them, pull the showing instructions, and basically prompt you to push a button to send out your requests.
Ah, interesting. So it's just like, you could just be like getting off work, don't have very much bandwidth, you go in, here you go, silver platter.
Yeah, and your client can do it too. Like, pick the 4, put them in their cart, check out, it'll map them, and it'll tell them how long it's going to take. Okay. I have lots of ideas for it, but that's the next.
For the viewers and listeners, tell us a little bit, like, when do you plan on launching, and like, how can they potentially download the app and check it out? Yeah,
so we're launching literally in the next couple of days. We're debugging and just beta testing with our team right now, and then we'll be launching it to our waitlist group first, and then it'll be going out to the market in about 1 month, which will be when the podcast is going live. So we're going to create a special tag for you guys. So you tell me what you want it to be. It'll be showingpass.com/
We'll just do RE verse tech.
RE verse tech. And then you guys get 30% off and can try it out and
say what?
Yeah. Manage your all of your buyer agreements. It'll let you know when they're going to expire. Okay. It's also a lead capture. So one thing I didn't talk about is the open house tool. Yeah. I know there's a couple tools out there for it, but it fits really well. You can put in an MLS number, generate your open house. People can scan a QR code to sign into the open house. I know in California, if you're holding open a home that's not with your brokerage, you have to get a buyer rep agreement signed at the open house. So it integrates that into the sign-in process. So people can scan it or click on your tablet or whatever and sign in, and then sign the agreement on the spot.
That's huge. That's awesome. Yeah. So, hey, buyer agents out there, this is going to be a huge tool for you to navigate the NAR case, what you're going to be doing with that to be able to be 10 steps ahead. And so it sounds like this is going to be great for anyone who wants to basically navigate the buying process of a home, be proactive, help their clients, collaborate, branding, the whole nine. And then after the close of escrow, do you have any aspirations or goals for the tool to be able to still be of value for after the close and when they buy a house? Or what's your thoughts with that?
I mean, we've really just focused. I think that you can't be great at everything. So we've just really focused on like, let's make this buying process so seamless and beautiful for the agent and the client to collaborate on the same page. So that's what we're really focusing right now.
Yeah.
The next step after showings may be, because we already have the integrations, maybe writing an offer within the app and being able to get that out really quickly and easy.
Okay.
And then we have a lot of AI components that we've been working on for a long time on the back end to know the clients, their activities, to be able to see what they like, what they dislike, and really make smart suggestions. So we have a lot of that we're working on as well. So we're going 100 miles per hour. We know the industry is changing fast.
Yeah,
and we just need to, we gotta fight against these big tech companies because it's a scary time in real estate.
And it's cool that, this is homegrown, right? It's in the industry. You are in the industry. You've been serving, supporting last 10 years. And so now you're like, hey, this is something that I could utilize. And so is this something that you already like, cause you're the founder or a co-founder. Are you using it yourself, like the beta?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. And your clients are in there and they're already testing it.
Yeah,
like, what about your team? Can they use it too yet?
So we're launching it to our team in the next couple of days.
Nice.
Not going to get into the details, but the
of
team's
course,
going to get it first, and I'm already using it for agreements and for searching. I personally love the Tinder mode, and I can go in and do it for each client. So like, if you're an agent, you understand this struggle. Like you're always trying to keep up and make sure that you are in your client's brain, and they're not the one always sending you the properties. You want to make sure it's like a collaboration. So I can just pop in there, see the new stuff, swipe right, swipe left, and then send that off to them for them to swipe and see if we get any matches between us.
I like that. And I'm just going to be honest with you as an investor, and shout out our neighbor, Ashley. She helps with our flips. I am that guy. I'm like, hey, I found this one. I found that one. So I'm sending her these listings first. And like, it's a little bit different because it's investment properties. I know specifically what I want and the price point. And like, I'm working with the contractors. I'm kind of like the foreman. So I know like, oh, is it floor? Is it the paint? Is it this? Is it whatever? But I think that'd be great because there are a lot of A-type personalities out there that will like literally be like, do I really need this agent because I'm sending them listings and doing all this stuff and I don't see the value here, right? So like I love that.
We got to be constantly providing value and insights that they can't get anywhere else. So a lot of the AI can do like voice, like you can just turn on a recorder at the end of your buyer presentation and dig into their wants, needs, goals.
Okay.
And it can translate that into the search too.
I love that.
So it's going to get them, because a lot of people will say, oh, I want this, I want that. But when it comes down to it, well, that's not in your budget. So so it starts to find, okay, where can we tweak this and
all right,
find other things.
So walk me through. I'm going to download the app. By the time this episode goes live, I download it. I go through the process. I could use it for the open house events. I could use it for my current customers. What would be like the most, I don't know, I guess use case applicable way that you would see a user who's viewing and watching right now that could use the app? Like what would be?
Sure. So we're starting as a mobile enabled website. So you don't need any app to use it. It's fully mobile enabled. You just pull it up on your browser. It operates as an app right now. We're going to build an app next. We just got to prove that you guys will use it. So use it first and then we'll build the app.
All right.
But you just go to showingpass.com, you sign up, you put in your MLS info. Right now we're testing with all of Southern California MLS.
Nice.
So we're expanding probably to Arizona and Nevada next.
Shout out.
We're getting those agreements in place.
Nice.
And you just log in with your credentials. Once you get on the platform, we sync directly with Follow Up Boss. So if you want to pull contacts from Follow Up Boss, you can. Otherwise, you can do a custom invite link, which is cool because that can also be a lead capture.
Yeah.
So on, your website or on, maybe you can't afford a full IDX website. You can just put this and it substitutes for it and it's a lead capture. And once you've captured that person, they're linked to you.
Got it.
So they're not going to see any other agent. It's fully branded to you. So if they sign up through your link or QR code, you kind of got them secured to your site. Yeah. And then you can do the buyer rep agreement. So if you're booking a appointment with a lead that came in through Follow Up Boss and you sit down, Well, now you can pull them from Follow Up Boss, click on them, send them a buyer rep agreement. You can do exclusive, non-exclusive, or single property or multi-property.
Yeah.
And then there's the open house tool. So you can set up the open house.
Perfect.
And it's going to integrate all the leads. We're also working on like an open house check-in. So if you did do an agreement in ShowingPass, your client has a QR code of that agreement with your information on it.
Nice.
So if they walk into a stranger's open house and they go, oh, well, I already have an agent, and that agent is like, well, do you? Let me see the contract.
Yeah.
Sure. And you have it, and then they can log that agent's info.
Oh, that's
kind of where the ShowingPass.
Yeah. Okay. I have my pass here. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like, there's, some of these agents out there are just, are you sure? And are you happy with them? And yada, yada, yada.
Well,
all the
like,
things.
Nope. Locked in. And that can be, and if that agent is using ShowingPass for their open house, it's like a check-in. So they can scan it and it logs it in as a contact. So you can count how many people came through.
Smart.
And you have their agent's information to reach out to.
I love that. So is this, would you say, more applicable for someone who's like ready now? Like they are pre-approved, they're ready now to sign that agreement? Because what if, like, I don't know, someone's like, I'm 6 to 12 months out, I just got to get some more savings. My credit needs to be fixed just a little bit before I can get...
Oh, I'm hitting the microphone.
You're good.
Sorry. No, like, actually, it's best to get your buyers in here as soon as possible. They don't have to be on an agreement to be collaborating with you.
Okay.
And actually, we don't want them to be, because we nurture them.
Got it.
We're learning their behaviors and we're trying to prompt them. And hey, they suggested these properties. Did you think about these? It's been a long time. Did you know that? Like, and so we're prompting them to re-engage them and move them along the process and educate them with our content too. So we want to be your partner in helping them convert. So get them in there as soon as possible, because once they're in your ShowingPass, they can't go in anybody else's.
I'm really excited, like personally, just to kind of see. You're gonna have to send me some. I would love to just get in and just check out like the UI UX interface and like how that looks and how that works, and then be able to like search for stuff and just kind of get a vibe for it. Because I think that the way that it presents is going to be huge. Because then, you go online and there's just like, there's advertisements and there's this and there's that. And then there's like, like everyone's trying. And so I like how it's just kind of focused. So you don't have to be so sidetracked with all the various different noise. And it's like, you're in one location for one thing to just keep it focused. And that's just what it is. That's
been my hardest thing, is because I want to do everything, right? Like I see all the problems. There's tons of problems to solve in real estate. And that's like the hardest thing, is to stay focused, because you can't solve them all well. So we're trying to go like a mile deep with this one part of the process versus like a mile wide.
Okay. Yeah. That makes a whole lot more sense too. Cause it's so hard, and it's like, welcome to the entrepreneur world. Right there,
there's a whole new ball game. I mean, I thought I was an entrepreneur in real estate. This is next level.
It is from a perspective of like, and I get it. Like real estate, definitely you're an entrepreneur to a certain point. I feel like it's set up a way that like, cause you get your license, and then after you get your license, then you go through the process of like, here's a buyer agreement, and like here's a seller agreement, and like here's your standard procedure with what you do, and then like you get a coach, and the coach knows how you're supposed to. It's like almost like a franchise. Real estate's kind of more franchisey compared to like being an entrepreneur. There's like, especially what you're doing, there's no fucking roadmap. You're like, okay, intellectual property, AI. Now it's like, you got to get patents, and then you have something proprietary because now you have this code. So with your partner, and it's like apps cost money, and then you get to give a percentage of that to the app store. And like, that's why you got to use the damn tool so she can be able to like,
so we can build that app. Cause the app's a whole different thing. And you have to, the thing is in tech is users are everything. If you're not solving a problem in an elegant enough way that users won't adopt it, then you have nothing. So you have to build the thing, put it out there, and then the market gets to tell you, did you do a good job?
Yes.
And so, my philosophy is I got to get a workable product that I'm decently proud of, prove that people will use it, and then we can go all in and dump and do the bells and whistles and app and all of that. But
now, are they hearing it here first? Have you been on any other podcast yet talking about it?
No, I haven't.
This
so
is
this
first?
is the first, yeah.
Oh my God. All right. Y'all get to be the first here. This is
literally the first, yeah.
This is dope. This makes me even more excited. I love it. So let's go deeper. Okay. Because I think that like, this is where I feel like the rubber meets the road from entrepreneurship. it's like bring them into like what's going on, how things work. I mean, you only can say so much because of course you have partners, whatever else. So we're only gonna give you so much out there who's listening and viewing, but like get them into like the idea and how it works. And like, cause it's nice when people want to like adapt and they want to help you and they want like what we're doing right now. Like I want to help you so you get the name out there. And like our whole goal with Real Estate First Technology is to serve our industry. And like, here's new tech, here's great coaches, here's real estate agents. So the question that I have going a little bit deeper is how do you make money?
Great question. That's very, very important question.
Yes.
So it is a SaaS. It's a subscription model.
Okay.
We have a free basic plan because we want everyone to be able to use it and benefit from it. And then we're going to try to pull you into the paid features as well. So
of course.
The basic plan, you can log in, you can see the agent remarks on your side as an agent.
Yeah.
You can share branded links to your clients.
Okay.
And that's kind of where the free version stops. So you can use it as a search tool all you want and share links all you want, and it stays branded to you, and you're good.
Cool.
The paid plan, we'll give you like a few free contracts in the beginning, but that's where the paid plan comes in. Is once you need the contracts, the open house tool, and a lot of the more high level collaboration. Yeah, that stuff's paid. It's $59 a month. And we're pretty on par with other tools, and we think we bring more value. Love it. And then showings will be next. So we're going to keep adding to the stack.
Okay. I love it. So then like, say if like I'm someone that like, I'm an agent and I want to use a tool and I have buyers that want to start to like search and I'm not going to have them sign a contract just yet. So that would be free.
Yeah, it's free. You can search with your buyers on it for free.
So use it. It's free. Come on now. No excuses out there.
It's free. And you know, our hope is that we give you access to the upgraded version for a little bit. You like it and you need it. So
well, I like the fact that you're putting emphasis on like, okay, now it's time to sign because they're pre-approved. They're ready to go. And now we're getting serious.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, like you pay to play with that.
Yeah, exactly. And like, let's also think about what there is to lose if you're not doing this correctly.
Yes.
Like the MLSs have all made it incredible. So it's on the MLSs to police this.
Okay. Okay.
And they've made it incredibly clear that if you don't comply, like there are going to be dire consequences. So
Makes
something
sense.
with my MLS that I don't think has gone public yet is they're like going to triple the fees for the fine. Like it'll be like $5,000 if they find out that you are showing homes without a buyer rep agreement.
Interesting. You know, that not only is like, oh, we have this big old like lawsuit, like buyer commissions are gone. If you don't have a fucking contract, like we're gonna get 5,000 from you. What the fuck?
More than that, if your client goes, well, I never signed a contract and they like a house, guess what? You could be representing them for free because
they go to the selling agent.
Either that, or you might be forced literally because you don't want to get in trouble to literally do the transaction for free. How much does that cost you? So it's like pay for a tool that's going to help you be efficient with this and manage it and make sure that you're compliant, or pay the consequences. Like,
lose a deal, seller agent takes it, or $5,000. I think I'll pay the $59 over the $5,000 any day.
And it's going to help you make more money and be more efficient. So kind of a no-brainer.
Man, it's a dog world out there, huh? You know, and not to go too far off to this, you know, this road here, but it's just so interesting to me. Like, first off, the lawsuit, like personally, I don't fucking know who the lawsuit's in between. Personally, lawyers and NAR. Okay, great. Now, you have to have buyer agreements for representing a buyer, which is it's valid. I get it.
Yeah.
But now there's these fines. Like, come on. Like, how much money are these freaking MLSs going to be making just policing these agents that aren't putting contracts in place? Because like, I literally just went IG live with an agent in Florida today, and she was on our podcast. We did a couple lives together, and I didn't go too deep on the whole NAR thing, but I wanted to like kind of like, hey, and she's like, honestly, I haven't really thought too much about it. I'm like, what the fuck?
You should definitely think about it. I don't think it's something to be afraid of by any means. But you should
like,
definitely.
Are you gonna feel contracts? Like the fuck?
If you're in real estate, it should have crossed your mind by now.
Yeah, interesting. So, okay, we're gonna go even deeper now, and I'm gonna nerd out. This is my tech side. Welcome to Real Estate vs. Tech. So, we deal with MLSs because of the IDX tool. And so with IDXs, we use like iHome Finder, Real Scout, just to name a few. So that ties in with the website. So there's some crossover here. So they can like search for home, save searches, stuff like that. So going deeper with that, like there's issues because the MLSs, and depending on like what MLS the agent's a part of, because obviously the MLSs want to make money. So it's like, oh, well, you're part of MLS A, but you're not a part of MLS B. So then can I get A and B search on my website with the IDX and be able to have all of that? So how are you getting through the process of like getting these contracts with these MLSs? Because they also aren't free.
No, they're not free, but we're just becoming a broker in every state.
Smart.
I'm a broker in California, and that's what Zillow did, right? Zillow isn't trying to right now be a brokerage, but the MLS has tried to fight back against Zillow and say, well, in order to get our data now, you gotta be an agent, because it's really the agent's data, or a broker. And so Zillow became a broker. That's what Homes.com does. So
very smart.
We're going the brokerage path, and then through that we can gain those agreements, and there's really no question about it. There are still fees, and a lot of the MLSs now are switching to a like cost per like API pull.
Okay.
So
yeah, a lot of stuff. So then it sounds more cost affordable to go the broker route, but then you have to get your license in each, or
a broker of record in each state.
Interesting.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe maybe this isn't for this audience, but we could really talk on this.
Well, hey, depending on what state our viewers and listeners are in, and you want a free account.
If you want like some money every year and you're a broker, reach out.
There you go. That's super smart. I like that. Well, which makes a lot of sense too, because then you can go after either independent broker that has like 50, 200, 500 agents, whatever, build these relationships, and then be able to, I mean, man, even thinking about rev share opportunities, right? Like say you have a broker that has 500 agents. Well, I need a broker in your specific area. You have 500 agents. You want to test this out for free at first. Do you like it?
Yeah, I mean, different states are probably going to have their different laws. In California, I don't think you can be a multiple broker of record. You can be like a broker associate and a broker of record, but you can't be a multiple broker of record. So we're looking for like old retired brokers who just want to collect a check and make sure we're compliant.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure you can find that.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, I don't know what that shit. I mean, just in Arizona, and half the agents that are licensed don't even transact.
Right, exactly.
You know, and then how many people like to just get licenses just to get licenses and say like, I'm a broker.
Yeah, we always say that like in California, it's like almost the same amount of real estate licenses as driver's licenses.
Oh my God. That is hilarious. But no, that's super smart. I like that, because that definitely makes a whole lot more sense to be able to go that route. It's more strategic, makes a whole lot more sense. But
yeah, we were going the IDX route, and it just, the labor of it and trying to like go to each MLS and be like through this agent and then set it up on an individual basis. It's like,
yeah, smart. Hats off to you. Kudos to you guys. That's freaking smart. I like that. I like that. That's definitely a nice tech move there to be able to like, and that's the thing too. It's like the data, you know, it's all data.
It's all data. I learned that in the beginning, and that's when I started to like see the writing on the wall with the Zillow and the big companies.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are we doing? We have got to stop giving money to them, because they are out to kill our industry, because they hold all the data. Yeah. And if they hold all the data, they can literally like manipulate everything.
Yeah. Whatever. Well, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, well, is this really average days on market? Is this really average median home sales price? Like, and that's the thing with like just a bigger picture of just everything in general. It's like, okay, where is the money being spent? Why are we in so much debt? Can you show us your freaking P&L? Like, you guys like literally make us go through this process, and then you're auditing. Why aren't you getting audited? Not to go too far down the rabbit hole with, you know, the powers of be with who's supposed to be running things, but it's sad.
Yeah, and then if we're gonna shine the light on this commission conversation and say that like agents are, you know, inflating the prices of homes. Yeah. Well, what's inflating the prices of commissions? Maybe a big referral fee to big tech companies, perhaps, that we can't negotiate on, but now the consumer is trying to negotiate to us, and they didn't realize that by clicking on that link that they were agreeing to that for their agent, maybe, perhaps, under the...
Interesting.
Should that be under the microscope at all? Anybody? Yeah. Like...
I could see that. Because it's crazy out there. Like, you can go to websites now. We actually do a lift off. Like, you can get information. You don't do shit. I can give you first name, last name. I can get you all that information if anyone goes to your website, and they don't have to do nothing.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, the consumer, when they click on show me this home, they don't realize that that agent now has to pay 35 to 45% of their commission to that tech company.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
And so when that consumer comes to them and goes, well, won't you reduce your commission? I heard they're negotiable now. It's like, well, not really.
Yeah.
I already gave up half of it.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that's where like the buying of leads, I feel like is like, and that's what like our mission is to help these empower these agents to like have local authority by building the know, like, and trust by just serving and talking about the Wolf Lounge or like, downtown Scottsdale and what is there to do and all the things. And so that way you could be like a celebrity fan because AI and, buying leads is like, it's at a point now where it's just out of control. And everyone wants a human connection.
Absolutely.
So how do you have that? Well, you build a better brand and have a better website and have actual guides and things that you can give to people for free. And it has nothing. This is what I was just on a podcast yesterday with a guy up in Canada. Really amazing dude, and he is big on YouTube and does a lot of like psychology behind Mr. Beast and this and that, and so he also is a YouTube coach as well. And I was just like, yeah, well, he was talking about Rocket Mortgage, and earlier in the show today we're talking about Rocket Mortgage, and you're talking about like, what's going to happen when like, here's ads, you want to buy a home, it's automated, you don't need an agent, all this type of stuff. I said that's where AI technology leads. You can't replace the personal connection.
Yeah.
That you just can't.
People need that. It's a scary thing. Making a home purchase, the biggest purchase of your life, like the amount of like therapy that I give to buyers and sellers and that my agents, like I've trained them on, is it's not like we don't have the value from the perspective of like the automation. Like that's not where our value is. We're not door openers. It's really giving like the education, helping them through the process, helping them when they wake up at night terrified, helping them figure out what's actually a long-term problem. How do we mitigate that risk for you? What's the long-term game? How are we going to invest? Like if you want to stay in the real estate game, you better figure out how to be an advisor.
Yes.
Advisors are not going out of business.
No.
You need tax advisors. You need attorneys. You need all of these people that give you personalized guidance and advice for your specific situation. And they are not going to teach AI to do that anytime soon.
Well, that's why they don't want that. They want to keep you in like, go to school, get your degree, find your mate, get your dog, buy your house, white picket fence, get your pension, automate the buying process of a home, don't talk to anybody. And it's sad because this kind of communication, it's like, well then, okay, so now I'm working with Alyssa. And Alyssa's telling me that like, okay, you can buy this house, but what are you going to do in the next 5 years? Have you thought about it with this house? Like, you're getting 6 bedrooms. Do you need all of them?
Bingo, let's house hack this bitch.
You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I would want from, anyone who's viewing and listening right now. Like, I get it. Like, you're not a financial advisor, and that's a cliche thing to think, a word or term, whatever to think about. Because like, you're an agent, and I know even when you take your test and everything else, they're trying to tell agents like, don't advise on, anything other than like the buy and the sell of the home and house hacking. It's like that's a different advisor, a different, And so it's sad that even is a situation. But honestly, as a consumer, I want that.
Definitely. But I get why they have to say that because there's so many, the caliber of agents, like it varies so drastically.
Oh my God.
And so if you don't actually know how to advise and you don't know, and you're just trying to tell people what to do to get a sale, like that's super dangerous. So with like, so I don't know, I get both sides.
Yeah.
And I think the advice to the agent is like, educate yourself, become that expert. It's going to take you 10,000 hours. Assist somebody. Anybody that's a high producer in real estate needs help. They have more business than they can handle, or they know how to create more leads to come in and convert those leads. So find somebody like that, latch onto them and follow them around everywhere.
Yes.
And you will learn through osmosis, and you got to put in your 10,000 hours.
That's why 90% of business is done by the top 10% of real estate professionals. And that's why it's such a fragmented market. And that's why there's like so many people selling to the agents because they know that like, oh, I just got a big commission check, and they're not ready for 30, 40, $50,000 check, depending on if it was a grandpa's house, it was 5 million and they never done that before and they sold it and had all this cash. And then it's like, well, you better save for taxes, all these other implications, and then like, it's like a process to like, success is a process. Like you don't just like all suddenly have nice shit or like have a bunch of money or have, a nice car. Like you have to build. And so that's where like the mentorship and the coaching and all that ties in nicely. And, at some point or another, it's like, that's where like people are just kind of leading these people because they're friends of friends and they have their license and it's fine. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like for me personally, like I would just advise anyone who's listening and watching is like put in the time, get the coach, like try to be the best version of yourself to like help and serve someone who wants to buy or sell a home.
Like, listen, be a consumer, be a student of this industry. Like, listen, learn, absorb everything. Like, even if you don't have that coach or mentor yet, you can find them online. Like, you can listen to, I saw your book, $100 Million Leads.
Yeah, I have it.
Dude, I'm Hormozy fangirl. I listen to him every day, and he helps like I love it. Me think of different ideas and things like that, because in this entrepreneurial space, like, there's not that many. I don't have somebody who I can go and shadow in the office every day. Yeah. In real estate, you do. There's hundreds of them in there's so many good ones that you can find that need you too. So, so
100%. Yeah. Check out Hormozy. He's awesome. I read a couple of his different books. I was actually funny. I was texting him on Instagram a couple years back. And like, he is weird about like no voice to text. Like, he just wants it to be text. So I like voice messaged him. For me, I just like to differentiate myself, because everyone's just sending out fucking texts, and like, which is cool. But like, depending on if you know how to utilize your word and navigate, like, I like to then do either one video. I'll straight up be like, hey, what's up? Like, or then I'll do voice memo, just because I suck at spelling. I was held back in 3rd grade. I had tubes in my ears, and like, I'm dyslexic. So if I'm trying to type it out and I'm not really focused on it, then I'll butcher that shit, and then it just takes my credibility down a notch.
I think it's endearing, and it's just like, everybody has their thing. Like, if you like getting the voice things and they help you, great. But I'm a lot of times in meetings and I'm like, I can't fucking play this right now. Like, I'm on a meeting. I want to be able to read it.
Yeah. But does it make you curious though to listen to it later?
No.
Not at all?
Usually I'll forget about it.
Oh shit. I'm doing it all wrong then. I thought it would be like intriguing. Like, oh, what did he say? What did she say?
Now it actually will like transcribe it for you on the iPhone, which
well, there you go.
Is great. Like, done. Now I'm fine with it. But before, if I had to play it, and it would always, my phone would lock like in the middle of it.
Oh shit.
And so then I'd have to open it, and so I'd just be like, fucking just text me.
Interesting. You know,
just call me. I like a phone call.
There you go. You know, true story about billionaires. Billionaires do majority of their business via text message.
I believe it.
They don't even voice, video, they just text.
When I had my mentor, shout out to John Reeves.
Let's go, John.
He always would yell at me like, you got to call your clients. You got to call your clients. I'm like, no, like, I like texting. I don't want to call them. Yeah. And my people enjoyed texting. And then later on, he's like, okay, you were right. Like, if they text and they're texters, like, you guys can text.
Or if you were listening, like, your vibe creates your tribe.
For sure.
Like, whoever you are is who you're going to attract.
And that's the thing. Like, if your people like the voice thing in the video, but it's not authentically me, so I don't do it.
Wow. Can you imagine it's already been just shy of an hour?
Dude. Time flies. Well, it's just a chat. Like, we're just having a nice chat.
Exactly. Well, this is a cool thing that I like about podcasts is like, with all the noise and all the shit going on, sometimes it's nice just to like be in a room, cool little vibe, and just be able to chat and just be, because there's just like, we were at the event and there's 1,000 people at fucking the Ford event, which is cool.
It was so overwhelming.
It's just overwhelming. And that's where I feel like, because Neil's like, you know, I was going to go and then I didn't go. And then like Neil is interviewing Grant Cardone. And this is, you know, I'm going to put bookends on this show, all the things, because like how we got connected. We talked about this at the beginning in Vegas at Neil's event. Ford event. And so I was talking to him via chat. I think it was voice chat. So then we ended up talking on the phone. He's like, you got to come, dude, this, that, and the other thing. Like, you know, there's a lot of business to be had and yada, yada, yada. A little bit of like squirrel moment. I like met some different people. And then one of the guys I met, we had a really good conversation. I'm like, hey dude, you're in mortgage, go direct to consumer, like fuck the agent. No offense. No offense, agents. Just go direct to consumer, do YouTube, passive prospecting, and that way you have control of the leads, and then you can pick anyone you want, right? Yeah. And then he's like, oh, dude, I talked to Neil, and I signed up for the mastermind, and he said, we're going to be going over some branding and this, that, and the other thing. So I'm just like, fucking Neil, you told me that there's a lot of opportunity to pick up business there, but like you're doing the mastermind, you know, and then I don't want to fucking bitch too much, but I got to say is that like I said, hey, Neil, get me on stage next year. I'd love to sponsor, get a booth, this, other thing. He's like, oh, go talk to my partner. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I talked to his partner. And then like, I'm kind of going through like, I don't know, I'm 10 years in. I've met a lot of agents. Like I'm like 16,000 agents I've met so far. And so I'm just giving him some feedback about like the event, the keynotes, and how big they are and how big the event is. And not to say it wasn't amazing. It was. I just wanted to give him a different perspective. And he just got so defensive. And I'm just like, bro, I'm telling you, I want to give you money right now to be a sponsor. And whether you like what I'm telling you or not, I don't need you to tell me what I'm saying is incorrect and my numbers are off and all these things. And I'm like, okay, fine, dude. So I just walked away. And like in between you and I and everyone who's listening, I'll never go to his event again.
Oh, Because I think that's such a lesson though.
Because of that, you know? And I'm like literally fucking ping pong ball, jumping around pictures and this and that and sharing this shit, which he has another 1,000 other people doing as well. But I'll tell you one thing right now. I'm going to tell everyone now, I will be bigger than Alex Ramosi.
I love this. I support you.
Right now, I'm telling, like yesterday I met a guy, he's like, dude, you could be bigger than Peace Morby and this. And I'm like, that's my plan. So when it fast forwards in fucking 8 years and I sell Liftoff for $300 million to 15,000 agents, then we'll have that conversation and be like, yeah, your sidekick
Remember
there?
this?
Remember this?
Totally.
I'm just telling you, man. So, but that's what I do. I just leave it be. I don't talk shit and like go to the Forward event. I'm going to tell you right now, it's amazing. There's lots of value, the whole nine. I'm just on a different path and journey. So for me, it doesn't align with where I'm going, which is totally fine.
Especially in real estate, because you're dealing with so much rejection and so much emotion. Like there's such a valuable lesson in that like people, when they put themselves out there to give you constructive criticism, that is one of the highest forms of love.
Yes.
And so if you choose to take their opinion as offensive, you're not receiving like the gift in that.
Amen.
Like
100%.
That blows me away that somebody that's in his position hasn't learned that like really, really valuable life lesson. Like if you have the balls to come to me and be like, hey, great event, this and that, here is like what I think, I would be so appreciative and be like, dude, thank you for putting yourself in that uncomfortable position to like help me. Be like, thank you. Like if you guys have feedback for ShowingPass, I know it's not perfect. Like by all means, it's a piece of art. It's a work in progress. Like perfection is the goal. You never arrive.
We have to grow that way.
Absolutely. So I think I'm like blown away that he like took offense to it, and it's sad for him because it's like, number one, you put yourself out there. That's an uncomfortable place. So to feel like somebody's going to get offended is like, okay, well then fuck you. Like I should have even wasted my breath.
I couldn't even believe it. And the only thing I said was, dude, I love your event. This is great. I said, you had some big keynote speakers, which is phenomenal. I just said, remember that 90% of the business is done by the top 10% of real estate professionals. If that's true, then 90% of your audience isn't going to take what they're hearing from these huge keynote speakers and be able to put it in their brain, and I digest it and then be like, yes, I'm going to use this for a showing presentation. I'm going to use it for this. I'm going to use it for that. Hence why you have the mastermind, to bring people into your ecosystem, to help them be able to better understand and digest it all. That's why there was an AI tool that took every single keynote speaker and dumbed it down for the people and put it on a really cool infographic. I actually have it on that screen over there. And so he was just like, oh, well, no, I wanted the bigger speakers because then we can be able to like have people like listen and like take what they can listen and they could use it for this and use it for that and everything else. I said, dude, that's only the top 10%. The top 10% are the ones that are going to be like forward thinking right now. What can you do? How can you be proactive? Like you listening to Hormozy, you're like, oh shit. And then like I went to the Entrepreneur Speak Off. There's like State 48's a big brand out here. And they have the State 48 Foundation. They're giving $50,000 worth of grants away. And there's 4 different speakers speak off. So there was last Wednesday, yesterday, and 2 more Wednesdays. And so I went to the event and I listened to one of the keynote speakers, and he had laundry sauce. He was on Shark Tank, and they fucking, you know, they're worth millions now. Yeah, laundry sauce. So long story short, I was like, oh shit. Like I was thinking like they talked slogan. I'm like, fuck. And so I sent my partner like, I want to change up our homepage. I want this, and this. Cause like, you evolve, and as you evolve, you see things differently. And so I sent it to him. I was hella super proactive, and so that's like was my intention for just telling them. And so I predict, this is my prediction, that eventually what's going to happen is there's going to be a split. And then eventually Neil will do the event still, but he'll figure out either doing it himself, hosting it, or I'll get a co-host, or his sister would be great to co-host it.
She's rad. She's
amazing. And then they'll go in that route, and then he'll probably do something on his own and go into a different direction. That's what I think is going to happen.
We'll see.
We'll see.
To be determined.
To be determined. You heard it first here. Check out the Forward event. Go, give them your feedback. They did send out surveys, I think there was. Like,
I think so. I never do a survey. I'm like the worst because I'm going to be sending out surveys to everybody, and I'm the worst one.
Oh, shit. Preacher yourself. The State 48 thing, they do surveys too, but this is how they do it. They say, you want a $50,000 grant, or like you want a portion of the $50,000 grant, then you got to come to each event. You have to go to at least 3 virtual online. You got to fill out every survey. And then you got to fill out the application at the end. And then of course, like follow them on Instagram and whatever else. And then as soon as they give the money, those people are like forever diehard fans of like State 48, and they go to all the events, and then they become vendors. And then this is how they get you. Then they say, oh, now you can become a vendor. It's $150 per booth per week for a booth. And then like there's 4, so it's like $600 plus times however many vendors. So they got a freaking really
smart.
They got a really good thing going on there. As we close up, put bookends, like from all the things past 10 years of being in this industry, what would you want to tell someone who is either going to get their license, they've been in business for a little while, there's a lot of golden nuggets you left them with, but just putting bookends on our show, what would you like to leave with our viewers and listeners?
So for new agents, like get into the industry and just know that it's hard. Actually, I think the overall theme for even getting into real estate, getting into entrepreneurship, starting a tech company, following your dream at all, you can't fail if you don't quit. And the biggest key is you have to continue in the face of no results. There's going to be times in real estate you feel like nothing's happening. It's like going on a walk. I had this epiphany the other day on my walk barefoot. And when you're walking through grass, all of a sudden you'll come to a dry patch and you're like, this is like difficult and feels terrible on my feet. And then you look ahead and it's like a few steps, all green. And if you quit when you're in the dry patch, you don't have the opportunity to take the next step and get to the green. So just don't quit. Keep going. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have bad months. You're going to have deals fall out of escrow. You're going to have things not work. You're going to have products not work. And take all the constructive criticism you can get, learn, and keep fucking going.
Thanks so much for being on the show. This has been a great experience. I feel like this was like kind of an aha moment, because we've had people on the show, mainly locals, and which is cool, but to have someone that, wants to drive in, be on the show, check it out. And I'm glad that
I know you were like blown away. And I was like, I'm going to come in person.
I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
And then like the story, like I'm coming for you, freaking real estate first tech. I'm like, let's go. I didn't see it until like later today, like an hour for you to be here. But I just like that. I like that there's enough value here. And so behind the scenes with our team, we're really going deeper on like the thumbnail, the copy, and like yesterday's podcast guest. I was just like, all right, we need to cut the last 36 minutes and give it to our whole team, because I think we have like 7 full-time video editors now.
Dude, that's rad. And that brings so much value to me, because
you got a lot going on.
I hate content. Like, I love it, but it's not my forte. And I've never been one to like post a lot. I've never really loved social media in general. It's kind of just, I know I need to for the business aspect. So you guys doing this for me and something that I don't have to do, like I was stoked. I'll drive twice the amount of time to get this value and be able to have a little bit of a platform.
I love that. And I think that whoever's viewing and watching it now, like take that in consideration for yourself, right? Like who can you serve or add value to, or vice versa? Like look to see who you can pour into. And there's a quote that I think I'm going to start putting out there more, but it's like, we're here to serve them which we used to be. Yeah.
Everybody started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Yeah. You took the word out of my mouth.
Everyone did. I had just graduated college, was pregnant, waiting tables, going, shit, this is not the life.
Yeah.
I want. Yeah. And so you got to make a decision one day that that's not your life.
Yeah.
And you'll look back 10 years later and just be like, damn, I did that.
Here we are. Yeah. Now you're looking for a fucking charger for a Tesla. Thanks for checking us out. Real Estate First Technology. Like, subscribe, notification bell. You're going to have to follow, Alyssa, and then also ShowingPass. Check it out. Download that shit. It's been an amazing podcast, and it is our intention for you to take things from our show to apply to your business and more massive success. And until the next one.